Beloved in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, beloved in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, this is a very urgent message regarding the Sons of the All President, Part 9. The Sons of the All President, Part 9. You've been asking to hear this sermon again, so I'm going to do another one. I believe Cliff asked me to do this one, so I'm going to do this one again. This is taken from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Again, that's 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3 is the gauntlet of this message. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3, it says, And when they shall cry peace and safety, unto you, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as a woman in travail, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that you should be overtaken as a thief. You are all children of light, and of the children of the day. You are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Now, beloved in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, you see that Donald Trump is making at least part of Jerusalem capital of Israel after this next news that we heard recently. And he originally wanted to make all of Jerusalem as capital of Israel. And we see the apostate Protestant world, the evangelical world, and the Southern Baptists especially, are trying to get him to make Jerusalem Israel's capital to fulfill the Jesuit prophecy that happened back in the 1950s of Christ come at a second time through the east gate of Jerusalem through Malachi Martin's book, Keys of His Blood. We see now that he's trying to give the churches more political clout, more political power to influence how the state runs the government. And we see how great contrast stays when the leading churches of our nation shall unite on common points of doctrine, as are held by them in common, Sunday sacredness and immortality of the soul. Then we shall see the lying power of Satan in these last days, beloved. And we see how Donald Trump tried to pass in the provision of his new tax bill to destroy the Johnson Amendment, but he couldn't do it. God held the winds of strife by the people. And he tried to make Jerusalem Israel's capital. The United Nations stopped him then. But beloved, let's just cut the tape. They're going to unite church and state with the repeal of the Johnson Amendment and give the churches more clout, because the church is going to control the state. It's the image of the beast. The apostate Protestants are going to league with the state. The apostate Protestants will control the U.S. government. The Catholic Church of Papers are going to unite to back up the apostate Protestant with her daughters, and they're going to support the U.S. government in persecuting God's people in his asses, God's women in church. Jerusalem is going to become Israel's capital. Satan is going to impersonate Christ and come to the east gate over there. They claim the Sabbath has been changed to Sunday, and all of his evil angels will come over there, and the imps and claim that Sabbath has been changed to Sunday, and they will impersonate apostles, prophets, and possibly even Ellen G. White. You never know. I always used to hear Moses Mason say that he used to always say that Satan will not impersonate Ellen White. You never know. Satan may impersonate Ellen White and claim that Sabbath has been changed to Sunday. But we know what the Bible and this prophecy states, so we don't have to be deceived in these last days. They're going to claim that this is the long-expected millennium, that 1,000 years on this earth has commenced. They're going to claim that we can whistle off to heaven at a grocery store or at a bus stop, and that these souls whistle off to heaven like Hal Lindsey's movie called Left Behind. They're going to claim the Sabbath has been changed to Sunday and the dead are in heaven. They're going to say they've died and come back to this earth. But it's an apostasy of latter times. You do not need to be deceived by the immortality of the soul and Sunday sacredness and the rapture theory. Beloved in the Adventist Church, and when they shall cry peace and safety unto you, sudden destruction cometh upon them, as a woman in travail, and they shall not escape, beloved. And that's what makes it so sad, because Donald Trump is going to tell the American people there's peace and safety coming. You're going to have long years of prosperity. Tell them that we'll make America great again. The long years of prosperity are coming now, and it's time now to have rest or ease and live the American dream and lay up money, lots of money for the future. And there's not going to be any trouble, any more war, any more pain. We're going to have a long expected millennium, 1,000 years of peace on this earth. That's what they're teaching. But Desiree just talks about this on the Mount of Olives, that these things will happen, and it's a deception of latter times. Now look what Prophets and Kings states here. A chapter called From Jezreel to Horeb by Sister White. It talks about the prophet Elijah. The prophet Elijah, what happened to him when he spoke against the sins of the Jewish nation, the northern tribes. That night a messenger aroused the weary prophet and delivered to him the word of Jezebel. So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. It would seem that after showing courage, so undaunted, after triumphing so completely over king and priests and people, Elijah could never afterward have given way to despondency, nor been awed into timidity. But he who had been blessed with so many evidences of God's loving care was not above the frailties of mankind. And in his dark hour of his faith and courage forsook him. Bewildered, he started from his slumber. The rain was pouring from the heavens and darkness on every side. Forgetting that 3 years before, God had directed his course to place of refuge from the hatred of Jezebel and the search of Ahab. The prophet now fled for his life, reaching at Beersheba. He left his servant there, but he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness. Elijah should not have fled from the post of duty. He should have met the threat of Jezebel with an appeal for protection to the one who had commissioned him to vindicate the honor of Jehovah. Now, beloved in the Adventist Church, this emergent church movement, this spiritual formation movement in the Adventist Church, this once saved, always saved, new theology movement in the Adventist Church, this women's ordination movement in the Adventist Church by these ministers in the Adventist Church is like the Jezebels and Ahabs of our church, beloved. And we as Seventh Adventist lay ministers in these last days need not to feel like Elijah and run from the post of duty and not give a straight testimony because we don't have a degree or we don't have a reward or because we're going to be put to death or because we're going to lose our lives or because we're not popular. We need to stand for truth in these last days and give a straight testimony, even if it costs us our ministry, our degrees, our lives. We need to stand for truth and give a straight testimony to the apostate Seventh Adventist new theologians in the Seventh Adventist Church and now from the emergent church movement. We need to give that straight testimony because these souls are going to be lost if we don't give it to them. We just had a modern-day Ahab, the president of South Central, commission a modern-day Jezebel as a commissioned pastor in the Adventist Church. And it's so sad that they're doing that, beloved. We need to stand up against this apostasy, give the straight testimony, do the publishing work and finish work, even if it costs us our lives, our degrees, and our ministries, because that's what God has commissioned us to do, and not flee like Elijah did with Jezebel. God bless you. Maranatha.